What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this episode of EnglishTurks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And yes, guys, I know I didn't upload last week, and then this week it's already Monday, and I should have uploaded yesterday. But as you all know, here in America, we are celebrating Christmas, and Christmas was last Friday, and so it's just a lot of things, events and stuff going on up until then, and I hadn't really been able to keep up and watch up with all the shows. I literally binge watched all the shows literally on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and to think all that time just getting ready for Christmas Day to end up just watching Dizis all day. So I ended up watching all of them, uploading all the podcasts Christmas night, or I think on Saturday I upload all the podcasts, and just trying to catch up. And so Merry Christmas to those of you who do celebrate Christmas, and those of you who don't. The New Year's coming up, so that's another celebration to look forward to. I'm gonna really try to keep up this week, and so that I can upload a video on January 2nd, I think, because that's gonna be, it's either January 2nd or January 3rd. So yeah, I'm super excited. Let's talk about the Dizis that we watched this week, starting with Seferin Kizi. I haven't watched the new one that aired this past Saturday, but from the previous Saturday, you know what, I always feel like they're just on this continual roller coaster when it comes to Eda and Serkan. It's the never-ending banter that's consistently happening. He's jealous of her and Efe, and she's jealous of him and Bolca, and honestly, the jealousy for Efe doesn't even really stand anymore, just because Efe's not even there. He's in Italy, but I guess he doesn't like them talking on the phone or having any kind of private conversations. And at the same time, Eda has all the right to be weary of Bolca. Bolca's doing all kinds of things to get into Serkan's line of vision, and I truly feel, like I said in the podcast, that Serkan completely knows what Bolca is doing, but he enjoys watching Eda, give him all this attention because of it. Because if it wasn't for Bolca, then maybe she would stick to her contract. I don't know, because she never does. So I know in this past episode that just aired this Saturday, they're supposed to be going to Paris, and also her grandmother's finally in town. I wonder if she's gonna cut Efe out of her life for real. Is she gonna actually leave the company? We already know the answer to these questions, but it's gonna be interesting to see. And when I watch the new episode that aired on Saturday, I will definitely pull up a podcast for that one. Moving on to Menajerimi Ara, guys. Now they're flirting, okay? So now we in this Barış and Dicle, flirtation thing going on. And if you didn't know, the last episode for Yanim, when they got Sera, I know I'm skipping shows, but Sera went into the room and she was talking to her mom, and her mom was actually watching the most recent episode, the second to last episode from Menajerimi Ara. Man, I was like, what? That's Menajerimi Ara on the screen. So cool. And there's some other cool things about Yanim I'll talk about later. But yeah, in Menajerimi Ara, they're having this little banter going back and forth to see who's going to break first and tell the other person that they like them and they want to be with them and start dating or whatever. But here's the thing. I'm going to say this a million times if I have to. Barış should not be saying anything, because he's already confessed to Dicle, and Dicle shut him down because she said, he didn't really like her that way, and also because of her job, she can't cross that boundary, and she's trying to keep her professionalism and grow. So if he steps over that boundary again, that would be kind of disrespecting her. So I think that she ultimately has to be the one, she has to be the one to say something. I can't believe she's even expecting him to do anything, because she's already shut him down one time. Seriously. And this whole thing with this Serkan thing, I cannot believe that Feriz and all the rest of them are acting so blind to what this guy is doing. And the fact that Barış's brother is helping is even worse. And Beren is just, I'm not going to talk about that girl because she irritates me. Let's keep it moving. So, let's talk about Seferin Kizi. Guys, yes. I know the episode is airing today. However, OMG, I was just so, here's the thing. I know, take a breath. Here's the thing. When it comes to Sanjar is really, he always keeps things under wraps until like the final moment. So Sanjar was kind of like really aware of a lot of things that were going on. He already made his plans. He was like, I think he had a right to pay back Sahara, whatever, Akin's sister for what she did. And yes, he did lock her up in a scary place and all of that. Sadly, she was shot in the end. But I was just like, yes, okay, so that baby's not real. Finally, we've been waiting for this for so long. Like, I really thought that they were going to carry that whole fake pregnancy up until the birth, but they ended up not doing that. And then also, he kicked all of them out of the town. Maneshke, her brother, her mother, which I think was smart. I mean, her brother is kind-hearted, but he's too slippery. He'll do for his sister whatever his sister wants. So if he had kept him there, then he probably would have, his sister would have called him and said, do this, do that, and he probably would have done it for his sister, because he always ends up doing things for them. But I was just like, I was even excited for Gedi, so I'm like, yes, you finally got yourself a girl. And then them all going to the cabin to be together and stuff. I just feel like, yes, she's 10 years old, but I feel like they put too much on that little girl, too much, and expect her to understand all of that. Like, it's a lot. And so, yeah, he spent a lot of the episode grieving over the death of his unborn child that didn't even have a funeral or wasn't even put under the dirt or anything. And so he's tried to deal with that, but at the same time still having to manage all the craziness that's happening. Karaman, all of them. It's just crazy. It's so crazy that we can't even focus on Kavruk and Zera. We can't even focus on them. And then also with his mom and her whole issue with being sick and actually threatening her own life to make sure that everybody would stay together. Like, somebody just needs to put some sense into that woman's head. Elvan needs to get a new man. Can we enter in a new actor for her? Because we would really like that. And so now Jaylan's staying at the mansion. Where are they finding these rooms? Because they couldn't find a room. I mean, up until now, when Elvan was living in the house, Elvan was staying in the same room with Zera. So I know they have the other side, but is the other side full? That must be, where are these people sleeping? And when they started to show aerial shots of the property, it's huge. But where are the bedrooms? So we'll see what happens with Jaylan staying over there, and will Kariman find out? Because you see, they were gonna use this whole baby and everything against Kariman, but they ended up not being able to do that because Jaylan doesn't want to be with him. So it's gonna be crazy. Let's keep moving, because I could talk about Seferin Kizi all day. Masumlar Apartmani, man, guys, I'm telling you, Masumlar Apartmani and Dogdugun Ev Kaderindir, both of these shows, the writers need awards. We need to put together and get them some kind of writers award, because they're killing it on these scripts, okay? So we are finally breaking a lot of barriers for Safiye, and I'm telling you guys, when she said, I was like, yes, shut this lady up. Yes, I was so excited. You can see my excitement, guys. I was so excited when she finally shut her mother up. That ghost can eventually disappear the more she ignores it. But now with the friend coming back in town, you see how they wrote that story? You guys see that? So we always saw this picture with 3 people, 2 girls, 1 guy. We've always seen this picture, right? And then now we're starting to put some things into context, because I don't know, did Naji marry the friend? Because obviously the friend stayed with Naji, kept him company, comfort, whatever. So I don't know, something had to have happened, and that's the part of the storyline that we're going to eventually start to find out, because it seems like Naji probably married the friend, and then maybe they had a kid together, because I saw a picture on Facebook saying that there was going to be a kid involved. I don't know, but Naji's saying he's no longer married to her, so maybe they got a divorce and that's his ex-wife. But then how's Safiye going to take that? Because obviously Safiye, was upset with the fact that thinking that he was married, but now knowing that he's not married, she's not upset, and she's starting to think maybe she should give this a chance. But then at the same time, what if she finds out that he was married and got a divorce? Will she feel some type of way? I don't know. But it's so cute that Khan and Gulben went out of their way to actually give her the opportunity to talk to Naji and get some truth out of, his situation, because he was about to go, and I was actually scared for her. But I think Naji's gonna be the one that ends up taking her out of that house and having her live her life, because that's what she really needs at this point. But also, we got a lot of Ece scenes. Like, this was his episode. He got to talk a lot. He had this whole storyline of his, because dad is actually dying. But I think it was highly rude, really disrespectful and really rude for them to bring the dad back to the apartment. I feel like they should put him somewhere else. Put him in the hotel across the street. He should not be in their apartment. I don't think he should be, even though he's dying. I just think with all the flashbacks that we're seeing, he really did them a number, especially with the mom saying with not the mom, NJ saying when my mom was on her deathbed, she only wanted you, and we were there, and she didn't even want us. She just wanted you. That's hurtful. That's really, really hurtful. But we'll see what happens in the next episode. I'm excited to watch it. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm totally excited to watch it. Let's go to the next one. Dogdugun Ev Kaderindir. OMG. I was on pins and needles the entire episode. But let me tell you something that I extremely loved, because they did not hold out on that whole, him speeding up to Barish to almost hit Barish with the car. They didn't leave us on a cliffhanger with that, because I would have been really upset. But you know what? It was such an in-depth episode. Guys, they are really trying to bring light to this. Maybe it's a bigger issue in Turkey than we know. I don't know. But it really is sending out a statement here. They showed so many things in this episode. They showed how women can be dealing with different types of domestic violence, domestic abuse. Look at it. Zeynep's mom, Zeynep, Mushkan, Emine. You see how they all were manipulated in so many different ways. Even Nerman, her other mother, she dealing with stuff. All of them, almost every single one of them dealt with something. The only one is Sultan. She didn't deal with anything. So yeah, it's really interesting to see all the manipulation and everything in the car. I really did feel bad for Mehdi in the car, because it's you're trying to get through to someone who you've been with, you guys had such a great relationship, and you're trying to get that person to see that, and then that person doesn't, is beyond that. They don't want to see that anymore. And that's where Zeynep was. And so he eventually, at that last moment, being the true Mehdi that he is, he did not end up hitting Barish, but he did see them hugging, which I think was very disrespectful for Zeynep to do. I understand you're in fear for your life, but I wouldn't be hugging the man that your ex-husband is really pissed off about. I wouldn't be hugging him right in front of him and then slowly turn around to look at him. I feel like she does things to irritate him. When she got him served the papers, why did she drive up in his car, in Barish's car? And at the end of the day, they keep saying there's nothing going on between them, but obviously now the storyline has changed and something is going to be happening between them. Now, is she going to go with Barish? He could be a better answer for her, but at the same time, it's hard. I feel like it's way too early. She's still dealing with a lot between her and Mehdi, but obviously in the next episode there's going to be a lot of Barish and Zeynep going on, and I don't know how well that's going to sit with any of the audience, even myself, but we'll see what takes place. And with Barish's brother, I feel like I'm trying to understand why they're focusing on him looking at them, him looking at Barish and Zeynep. What is the purpose? Is it because maybe he feels like he has a connection with Zeynep, that he wants to be with her in that way? Or is it that he understands that it's too early for Zeynep to be with somebody else, and maybe he's going to talk with Barish about that? But I'm totally rooting for him and Emine. Hopefully something happens. And where is the daughter? Not the baby that was just born, which congratulations, but where is the daughter? Kibri, where is she? Like, she's nowhere in any of these episodes. So I wonder what they did with her and how they were able to shield her from that. Because remember, she was there at the opening when he ran after the car. She was there, which is where they opened up this episode. So where has she been this entire time? And also, what happened with the shop? And, you know, it's just crazy. But even, like, another really good part of this storyline was Jemile, just watching her and the emotions that she was going through, wanting to defend her brother. You know, it was hard for her to see past. You know, he's doing all these things that are just like crazy horrible, and everybody's yelling at her, but yet her love for her brother really pushes her to want to be there for him in that way, and not discredit him for who she knows him to be. And then at the same time, now she's gonna push Banal on him, and is Banal a good person now? Like, it's so crazy. The writers are amazing. I love this show. Let's go to the next one. So Yanim, guys. Okay, so Yanim, I'm not that crazy about the writers of this show, but I feel like it's getting better, but there's still a lot of things that it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's okay. I don't like the way they put their relationship together. It was just really awkward and weird. Like, they never really showed a lot of flirtatious moments between the two of them, and it's very like cut short and snipped. I feel like they give Biricik way too much TV time, the mother storyline way too much TV time. They need to help us to understand the development of this relationship between Sera and Selim, because to me it just doesn't make sense. And then plus, like, the whole thing with the friend. So literally, the like 2-3 days after the friend got into this car accident, he's making out with her. Like, very weird, very, very weird. I think they need to give it a lot more context. However, I think the storyline behind the father, the whole car accident, that stuff, like Selim's dad's storyline and the different things going on, is written much better than their love story, because it just doesn't. It feels like that's moving so fast, whereas the dad's storyline with the things going on behind the scenes with him make more sense. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I think it was a good show. And you know, one of the things I wanted to say about Yanim is that the house that Sera grew up in is literally Barış Bey's house in Dogdugun Ev Kaderindir. It's the same set. And so I was saying in the podcast, I wonder how they transition everything. The good thing is, I think for them, is that, you know, Barış brother's room is very like full of like stuff, like a hoarder's room kind of, and so they didn't really show the room in the flashback of Sera. They showed her walking out of the room, but they didn't really show the inside of the room. So maybe they have to change too much, but it's literally the same building, the same thing. Okay, let's talk about Akrep. Guys, I started to watch it. Like, I tried to stay in line order. And so Akrep from 2 weeks ago, I haven't watched, which would be episode 2. I started to watch it, but guys, that thing makes me cringe so much, knowing that she's going to get away with so much. But one thing I will say, so you know how the lawyer that's talking to her is... at the end of episode 1, she kind of said, you know, bye mom, or whatever, like while she's walking out or whatever. She says that. I think that she's the youngest daughter. I think that's her niece, the youngest one. Think about it, guys. Really think about it. It's the youngest one, I think. Maybe. It's not her daughter that she had next to her, because that girl had orange hair and all that stuff. I think, and they look completely different. But the little girl, she has no contextual face right now for us to differentiate who she is when she gets older. So maybe it's her. I'm going to try to get back into it. It's not that I've fallen out of the show. It's just, it's really hard to watch. It's very cringe-worthy to watch, because you know she's getting away with so much stuff. And when you look at the characters, you're like, oh my gosh, are you people stupid? But they're not. It's just... her manipulation, that's what gets me. Also, one other show that I haven't finished watching is Cocukluk. I know it's the last 2 episodes. I'm holding out on that one. I just want to carry it into the new year to have a little bit of Cocukluk in the new year. But lastly, I want to talk about Legacy. Guys, hello. what are they doing with Yamin? He's like really getting like out of his comfort zone to flirt with her, talk with her, you know, trying to do this boyfriend thing, even though they're not really boyfriend girlfriend. And I was just laughing at what's her name's Zuhal, because she locked them up in the basement and didn't even know that Yaman was in the basement already. So I mean, I hope they can have some peaceful moments. Obviously, she freaked out when Yaman beat up the guy, but I would have been like, thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Well, they're not going to say thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus, but they'll say, you know, Allah. They'll say thank you to Allah. And I think I would do that just because, like, this man is literally on the verge of killing you. Like, he wants to like get rid of you. So to have Yaman be able to show up right on time and protect her, I mean, she's going through a lot of trauma. I can understand that, but I absolutely love Ali and all of them on that side of the storyline, because they are just so fun. I love them, and I'm interested to see what's gonna happen in this next episode, which probably aired today, and I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, that was all the Dizis for the week, guys. I'm going to definitely keep in touch with you guys as I continue to watch more episodes, and I hope you guys will keep in touch with me by clicking that subscribe button, click the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm, and click that bell button so you're notified every time I upload. It's the best way to keep in touch. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which I don't really use that much, but I'm on Facebook like all the time when it comes to EnglishTurks, as well as on Instagram most of the times. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.